where one is coming. Nigeria, where they go for.
Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, as you can tell from the title, I'll be showing you how to prep your extension, and you can use this method for any type of hairstyle you're doing, whether you're making cornrows, whether you're making knotless braids, whether you're making your hair with this extension. This is one of the best way to prep your extension, and the extension we'll be using in today's video is this color 27 from Lush, as I'm currently making a video where I am using this color of extension, and I just decided to show you guys how I prep my extension to achieve my flawless wig. If you're new on my channel, my name is ADUNNI'S and I am an Abuja based content creator. Please, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to click the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and turn on post notification for other videos like this. So what I'm currently doing is unraveling my extension, and for some particular reason I have been so stuck with using Lush extension because I just enjoy it. It's actually very silk, and this is not to say there aren't any other silk extension. So if you want to cut your extension, you have to first determine the length of the braid or the cornrow you're going for. So you just have to make sure that you're measuring it appropriately. I'm going for like a waist length, like a bra length for my wig. So I'm going to be cutting it into 3. So if you're going to cut it into 2, you just have to fold it into 2 parts and you cut it. And if it's going to be into 4, you fold it into 4 equal parts. But I'm cutting mine into 3, and as you can see, I'm trying to achieve like an equal length for the 3 sides. This can actually be a bit tricky, but you just have to keep measuring it and until you get your desired length. So I was satisfied with the way I measured it, and I just went ahead to cut it gradually. And as when you're dealing with extensions like this, you actually have to be very patient, because the least thing you want when you're trying to prep your extension is for it to start tangling and giving you tough time. So I actually cut my extension in like sections. I cut it gradually. I'm not rushing. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to make sure that we get things done neatly and beautifully. So as you can see now that I cut the first part away, and now it's remaining 2 parts, and the tips are actually so sharp, like it's so sharp. So I went ahead to put that aside and just cut the other side as I have measured it earlier. Guys, English is not my first language. Or is it? English is a bit difficult, but we are managing, you know. So you just have to make sure that you're cutting your extension gradually, because you do not want to bother yourself with sorting of extension. Like when synthetic extension gets tangled, sometimes I just want to fold everything and throw it away, because it can actually be very, very annoying to start arranging them. So the first method is just this one, that you keep removing and placing the extension on each other. Actually, this is my least favorite type of method, but I have seen professionals do this method at the salon, and it comes out very, very nice. So you just have to keep arranging and rearranging, removing and placing over. And for me, I think if you're going for a length that is not going to be too long, or you don't want your extension tip to be very slim, like for it to have that like fishtail effect, this method is okay for you. If you just want your extension to just be a little bit picked out, this method is actually okay. Another thing I like about this method is that it gives less tangle compared to the other method you'll be seeing me show, and also you get to work very smart with this extension. So it's more with this method, so it's more like you just playing around with your hands, and it's not as technical as the second method. Also, you would see that after sorting this out, that I actually got very little to no tangle with this method, but you just have to be very patient for you to get the desired effect when you're using this method. Like, this method actually takes time, if you ask me, but the other method is my favorite one. So you just want to keep watching and see how the other method turned out, and you can definitely pick out which is your favorite from both method. And if you are still watching up until this point, guy, you're the real MVP. Please remember to click the subscribe button and drop a comment. Like, let me know which method you actually prefer. As you can see, guys, I actually got tired. If you can keep going at this point, you actually can still keep going, but actually was okay with this length because I'll be using it in the back side. Like, it's going to be like my bottom length for the wig I am making, so it was okay for me because the other length will just come up to it. So you can see the very little amount of extension that just got wasted in this method compared to what you'll be seeing in the next method. So I just wanted to go in with my white tooth comb and I'm combing it out effectively. Like, I'm actually combing it out to make it tangle free. That's just it. So now for the next method, this is actually a bit tricky, but it's actually my favorite one. So you just have to keep picking it out. Now, if you're picking it out, you might think I'm actually pulling it too fast, but it is the speed of the video. So you want to go in bit by bit. Like, you actually have to be very patient with this method, else your extension will tangle. Your extension will what? It will tangle, and you actually just waste it. So you have to be very, very patient. You have to pull it like not strand by strand, but in very little quantity. Yeah, very little quantity, as you can see me doing in this video. And you just have to keep pulling like that until you're done pulling all of the extension that you have. Also, I would suggest that when you're using this method, you want to take a little extension at a time. You don't want to fill your hand like I did, except if you're a pro. So now I am done pulling out everything, and what I went ahead to do is just first detangle it by pulling them away from each other and rearranging it, and this way you get to minimize the tangle in the extension from the friction of when you were pulling it. So you just have to do this like once or twice, and it's going to help you reduce the amount of waste you get from the extension as compared to the first method. Guys, this method is my favorite. Like, this is what I grew up learning, and I'm just learning the first method I showed you guys, and this method is actually going to give you a longer effect of your extension as compared to the first method of pulling the extension or prepping the extension. So now I am basically just making sure to pull out, rearrange, pull out, rearrange, to reduce the amount of tangle and also to reduce the amount of work that I would do when I want to use my white tooth comb to comb it out. So once you're done pulling out and rearranging like that to your satisfaction, you're going to go ahead and use your white tooth comb as you're seeing me do to comb it out. Guys, you actually have to be gentle. This is just the speed of the video. You have to be very gentle. If you're not gentle, your attachment will waste. It will waste. So you have to be very, very gentle. And I think I should reduce the speed of this video, of this part, because it's making me feel like if I was violent. No, I wasn't. You have to be very, very gentle and just make sure that you comb it up until your satisfaction. Guys, see the amount of extension that is still tangled. And I'm not even going to risk wasting it because I am still hoping that this extension is going to be enough for the wig I am making. So guys, can you see the difference? Like, the difference is actually very, very obvious and very clear. The second method has a sharper tip, and I'm using my good old attachment oil from Petals. Like, I don't know, for some reason I really like this attachment oil. Like, I like it a lot for synthetic hair. It's actually very nice. So that is just what I did to give it a little bit of shine and to just make it feel silk when I'm ready to use it. And I did that to both extension, and I just set them aside And as you guys can tell, like, the second method is a bit tricky. It requires a lot of patience, and I think both methods actually require a lot of patience, but the second method gives you like a longer tip, a more precise tip as compared to the first method. So let me know in the comment section which is actually your favorite method. So this is the third part, and I didn't pick this on video. I'll be doing this later along the line. So this is the wig I'm currently making, and if you haven't seen the tutorial on how to prep your closure on your wig cap, guys, please go watch it. And thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you guys in my very next video. Thank you.